One issue that has been a big one this week was the fine from the corporate regulator ASIC to the CBA over the, I guess everyone's calling it the botched capital raising.
The Commonwealth Bank will survive, an $84 billion bank paying a fine which is the equivalent of 4 days of the CEO's salary.
Yeah, but are you saying that it should have been done or it shouldn't have been?
Oh, absolutely right. You can't be not responsible for your own disclosure to the market. You can't say Merrill Lynch was meant to secretly tell investors in these shares. You need to make a statement to the stock exchange that your bad debts have blown out by $400 million before you start trying to raise $2 billion. Now, ironically, the people who bought the stock at $26 have doubled their money. Yeah. They've made more than $2 billion because CommBank shares have doubled to the mid-50s now. Yes. So it's been a fantastic investment. But the CBA, I'm just amazed how much they're whinging and protesting,
and they were protesting at the time. Remember, there was very strong phone calls with Ralph Norris. Was it an indefensible action?
Absolutely. I mean, they should be fined $10 million. But they should change the law so that if a big bank or any big issuer breaches continuous disclosure, it should be more than just a tokenistic fine, which is what you'd spend on a junket for a few financial planners.
Yeah, I mean, particularly a company as big and as prominent on the exchange. So it has done reputational damage, Stephen?
It's mainly a reputational issue, and the rest of the market will not repeat this. So it's all about teaching a lesson for everyone about market behaviour. The 100 grand is just token, but what we've seen from the CBA is a very, very interesting insight into the intransigence of that culture at CBA from the board down. And I think you wouldn't want to be a borrower from the bank claiming that the paperwork wasn't wrong. They just will not accept they've ever done anything wrong. It's a pretty dangerous culture down there.
All right. Does this call into question, I guess, the CEO, Ralph Norris? I mean, certainly the CFO, I imagine, has been wrapped over the knuckles, but Ralph Norris said, I think in August, he said that no heads will roll on this issue. Presumably that still remains, and that certainly means his own head won't go.
Well, the bank is performing beautifully. I mean, it's worth $85 billion. It's one of the top 10 most valuable banks in the world.
Right, so this was just a bad mistake, but it's not enough for a senior head to roll.
You're not going to roll the CEO, but if I was the new chairman of the board, David Turner, I would say to myself, I have a problem with the attitude of my CEO. Government will be watching this, and there is the risk that there will be regulatory intervention with the banks, a la what the government's done with Telstra, and Australians do suffer the world's most expensive banking system, all that sort of stuff. And if the banks are perceived to be arrogant and never admit to making mistakes, there is a risk that their regulators and others will be extra tough on them.